Hello and welcome, my friends, once again to the happiest, most polite Guild Wars 2 analyst this world has ever seen. And we're actually gonna discuss something very, very good, something that I love and I look forward to more than Christmas Day. And those are balanced patch notes, you guys, because recently we have seen changes to profession skills, and boy, do I love ArenaNet's balance changes. So we're actually gonna just talk a little bit about them. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but I will give just a little bit of an impression of how these changes will actually make Guild Wars 2 even better, because to be honest, the balance in Guild Wars 2 already is near perfect. So I can only imagine what ArenaNet has in store for us today. And we're just gonna look at the classes in the order ArenaNet gives them to us, and we're gonna start with Elementalist. So they're saying they're actually making some quality of life changes, and they're gonna slow down the Elementalist defensive capabilities. Let's see what we've got here. Obsidian Flesh duration decreased, wash the pain away cooldown, rebound. The healing has been increased. Interesting. I didn't realize that that was a nerf to defensive capabilities, but you know what? That's fine. Increases of abilities and stuff. Elemental shielding, direction of protection, nerf. Glyph of elemental power. Gives 5 charges. What? What in the heck is that? But you know what? I don't even... Okay, so what we have here, you guys, is a few buffs to skills nobody uses, as per usual. And the change to Obsidian Flesh is very interesting, because usually when you see a class, an elite spec, okay, that is OP as heck, you might think that what you have to change is the elite specialization itself, but sometimes the best way to do it is to change things that are completely unrelated to the issue at hand, because, you know, it might be possible to change how much healing the trait that heals on aura does. You think it might be worth changing the protection buff that one of the Tempest traits gives you. But you know what? I think the best way to go about it is to nerf Obsidian Flesh, you know, the focus skill that would actually have a big impact on how base Elementalist, which is mediocre, performs in the game. So you know what? I think nerfing things that are completely unrelated to the issues at hand is actually the best course of action to take when balancing game. You guys might remember Dumbfire, right? On Necromancer. And I remember that when Dumbfire was dumb and slightly overpowered, ArenaNet's intelligent course of action was to nerf Mark of Blood. I'm not sure of the exact relationship between Marks of Blood and Dumbfire, and they eventually nerfed Dumbfire anyway. But you know what? I think this is what we need. I think this is how you balance a game. That's how you balance a game, okay? Just, you know, just listen to me, okay? So Engineer. Engineer is taking turret skills and never deploying the turret because Twobolt skill was too important to be... Okay, so they're addressing some turrets, it seems, but nobody actually cares about those. So they're nerfing a Bunker Down. They are right, yes. They're nerfing Protection Injection, fine. Med Pack Drop, Bulwark Gyro Project. So they're making Engineer slightly less impossible to kill. So, and turrets no longer need to be overcharged. You know, I've always found it very strange that you literally never use the turret. Because, you know, it seems to go against the point of it. But all in all, none of it matters. Okay, because nobody uses turret skills beyond healing turret. So we'll see how this impacts healing turret, because that's the only turret that actually matters. So Guardian, few signets, that won't matter at all. But what is this? True Shot. Recharge has been increased from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. Whoa, that's actually insane, you guys. That's actually completely insane, because not seem like much, but combined with Rings of Resolve, base healing of this skill have been reduced by 24%, which is actually kind of needed, you guys, because Wings of Resolve is actually so completely OP and stupid because it's basically a second heal skill. A second heal skill which also allows you to escape. So just read them. Test of Faith damage has been reduced by 10%. Sure, why not? Active duration, another nerf to the F skills, you guys. So just going to show that all this crap was as stupid OP as I said it was. Okay. Just as I said, a nerf to renewed focus, unnecessary to be honest, because the issue is Dragon Hunter, because ArenaNet doesn't know. They have absolutely no idea what to do with the elite specializations, you guys. But, you know, that's actually not true. This shows that they actually know exactly what they're doing. Okay, and it only took them months and months and months to actually change the elite specialization on Guardian, you guys. So, there you go. But I guess you can say that those nerfs, it's about time that they got there. Mesmer. New attacks for Phantasm skills. You know what, you guys? You know what I'm gonna say? You know what I'm gonna say? Phantasm Berserker. This skill now fires a boomerang that inflicts 3 stacks of vulnerability for 3 seconds in addition. So many. You know what, you guys? I think it's fine that they're trying to make the ghost skills do things beyond summon a ghost. But you know what I would really appreciate? If Phantasmal Berserker didn't hit me for 4K, you know, that would be fucking great. That would actually be really amazing. I would actually appreciate that, because if they're gonna buff all the power shatter, you know, they're gonna make one-shot Mesmers even more one-shotty. The least that I could appreciate that they do is make it so the ghost don't destroy me, and it's actually the Mesmer himself that does it, you know? It would also be interesting if we could actually tell which mind ability they're using, which F skill they're using, because currently the only way to know is that all you see are some illusions running towards you, okay? So you have to, I don't know, you guys, you just have to dodge everything. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I don't know you guys, but I can definitely use a few more one-shot Mesmers running around the PvP. That sounds perfectly fine to me. Necromancer. Let's see what a surprise they've got for me, you guys. I want to see what's going on. Our biggest focus, Epidemic. Irrelevant to PvP. Doesn't matter. Doesn't actually matter whatsoever. Plague Sending. So a nerf. You know what, you guys? I've always said that Necromancer needs to be nerfed. Like, it's honestly the most OP class. So I'm personally pretty happy that they're nerfing it completely. That's what we need. That's actually what needs to happen. Chilling Nova, another nerf. Great, another nerf to Rise. Sounds great. Tainted Shackles, 5 seconds of revealed. Sounds fine. Infusing Terror. No longer pulses stability but gives you 3 stacks. So this is actually a flat out buff to Infusing Terror, because when you activate it you get 20% reduction on all your damage. So that's actually pretty good. That's pretty nice. Chilling Victory cooldown has been increased from 1 to 6, but we're seeing a bunch of nerfs everywhere else, so I don't actually... You know what? It's fine. Okay, we're not gonna complain, because there are Necromancer patch notes, so I guess, you know, but God forbid, you guys, God forbid that they change base Death Shroud to make it a useful mechanic. God forbid they touch any of those things. But you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. So that's what we're gonna do, you guys. So they've renamed Plague Lens. 200, like, creates an AoE. It's basically a well that just makes lots of condies in the area it is in. Okay, so that's all it is. So instead of being an ability that makes you extremely hard to kill for a long time, now it's some useless bull that won't do anything. But you know what? It's fine. That's actually perfect. And what would Necromancer patch notes be without some buffs to Axe? What would it be, you guys? What would it be? They've actually changing how the dagger works as well, so that's actually pretty interesting. So the combo is Dark Pact, and then you Life Siphon the guy. So that sounds Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. But it deals 20% more damage to bleeding foes. But you have no real way to inflict bleeding on dagger, as I recall, unless you take offhand dagger. So this is actually kind of stupid, I think. But you know what? It's fine because a buff is a buff. Okay, so it will make you tankier. So that sounds good, you guys. So ranger condition rangers have been pretty potent. And so these are PvE changes, most likely. These are all PvE changes, except for lunar impact. Apparently, they will nerf how healing power works. And you know what? That's fine. Shared regeneration has been reduced to PvP. So there's actually a few changes to make ranger slightly less OP in PvP, which sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good because it is kind of stupid. But you know what? I wish they would actually nerf. And they do. They actually do. They actually nerf the pet. Smoke assault damage of this skill has been reduced by 15%. At least I hope that's the stupid pet. So hopefully, yeah, this is what some of these things do need to happen, guys. And actually, Ancient Seeds cooldown of this trait has been increased from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. So, you know what? Even though the ability does have it's basically an elite skill on a 10-second cooldown, at least now it's on 20 seconds. So you know what? They doubled it, so I guess that's better than nothing, you guys. I guess that's actually pretty good. So these patch changes are look kind of decent. Looks kind of decent. So a few buffs as well to some short bow skills, which I guess is okay. Guess it's fine. You know, nothing to say here. Just all of it. Revenant. Some of the core trait lines have been lacking and other synergy. Okay, so they're basically responding to the fact that Revenant was wiped from the face of the earth in the last balance patch. So pretty sure all of these are buffs. We're gonna have to, it remains to be seen how Revenant will end up after all of these. Especially the Condi build, because it looks like they really want Condition. The problem, this should worry you, by the way, because it's very likely that in classic seesaw fashion, because this is a technique, this is actually a classic balancing technique known as the seesaw method of balance, which is when one part of the class is low and another is high, you exchange the low one for the high one. So Power Revenant was the thing forever, nerfed into oblivion. So now they're gonna buff Torment and Condi Revenants until they cannot be buffed anymore. And now the Cancer will be Condi Revenant. So we'll see. We'll actually see. We have to see what goes on around here. But you know what? I don't actually care about Revenant. So we're not even gonna read any of that, guys. We're not even gonna read it. Thief. Let's see how it's going on. Daredevil Staff, strong AoE weapon, but Core Thief lacks good ways to deal with large groups. So fascinating that they care about Core Thief, yet have not a single thing to say about Core Necromancer. Because God forbid that Core Thief lacks AoE. God forbid. You know what? Core Necromancer is actually perfectly balanced. It's extremely good in comparison to Reaper. So it doesn't actually need any changes, you guys. You heard it here first, okay? So we have here a series of nerfs to Thief. All of them are completely deserved, by the way. Each and every single one. They deserve it. So you Thief players you're just gonna have to deal with it, okay? Because every single one of these nerfs is deserved, okay? This hilarious thing going on where thieves just run everywhere and destroy everybody. You know, that's not how it's supposed to be, okay? That's not how it's actually supposed to be. A classic buff to pistols. What would a thief patch be without more buffs to pistols? Because you know what? Because you know what? That's the most important issue right now, you guys. That we buff unload some more. Maybe one day every thief will take 2 pistols, but you know, and they're trying hard, you guys. They're trying really hard to make this a reality. But you know what? You actually know what? I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. So a bunch of changes to shortbow. So it looks like shortbow is actually going to be even more mandatory than it already is, because now you get to smash points, with especially the change to choking gas, which is actually pretty interesting right here, you guys. It's actually pretty interesting. Trick shot itself will actually be good, so thieves will have a lot of AoE pressure, so maybe they'll be more valuable in team fights, so who knows. But overall, I guess these are pretty decent changes, I would say. So for Warrior, toning down some overperforming elements. Gee, I wonder what those could be, because to be honest, guys, Warrior was extremely weak last patch. It was actually really, really weak. So they definitely need buffs everywhere. I'm not sure why they're nerfing things like Arc Divider. I mean, that skill is so balanced, and Headbutt, very balanced. So let's see here. A nerf to Shield Bash, fine. Casting time has been increased by 0.5. This will actually have no impact whatsoever. Actually, zero impact. Literally nothing. Will change. Arc Divider will still be a hilarious joke because you just dive on a point and then you hit everybody with Arc Divider. So it actually changes nothing. Absolutely nothing. They nerfed Skull Grinder. Fair enough. Okay. Definitely needed it. A change for Headbutt, just more casting time changes, making it easier to dodge. They nerfed Healing Signet. About damn time, by the way that they did this. And they're actually changing how Endure Pain works. So now it has a much shorter cooldown, but it lasts for a lot less. So you're gonna have to use it only in certain situations. Definitely a big change to Warrior, making them less powerful, less able to endure pretty much anything. More nerfs to... By the way, it is fascinating that all these Endure Pain changes, by the way, also affect the base Warrior. So, you know, in typical arena fashion, sometimes you do need to nerf everything when the problem is something else. So, but they do also touch on Berserker. They do nerf a whole bunch of things on Berserker, which I think is fine. Although they do buff Reckless Dodge, so who knows? I guess they want people to take Strength more often, I guess. And some buffs to Axe, which is fine because I actually do enjoy my Axe. So I'll be very happy with these. And then the biggest change of all is, of course, all the sigils that they changed. And at a glance, they look kinda interesting. None of them seem obscenely totally broken OP. Anyways, they seem to have gotten rid of the most problematic ones. Just a few little things here. Definitely some ones that improve damage, but it's not all that much. They seem to be similar to Sigil of Force, but only in certain circumstances. So it looks like damage will be going down. I don't know. It's a pretty big change, so it's hard to gauge just how much will actually be altered. Because no more lightning strike sigils, no more fire explosion sigils, so everything will be a little bit easier to predict. You won't all of a sudden get an extra 1k damage on your burst. So, you know, definitely a big change, so it's hard to call how that will turn out, but from just looking at them, it doesn't look like they're totally stupid, although the Sigil of Courage gives you might for 10 seconds, but it only has a 2-second cooldown, so that could have quite a place on certain builds. Perhaps Elementalists could use this one, since they do spam a lot of might as well as Engineers, so who knows, you guys, who actually knows how it'll all turn out, but yeah. So overall, what can we say about these patch notes? Well, to be honest, there are some good things to be found here. But at the same time, there are also a few changes that are kind of stupid. Basically, any change that affects the core class and doesn't nerf what needs to be nerfed, which in almost every single case is the elite spec, is a dumb change. The change to Endure Pain might be a bit too much. I don't actually know, but maybe. Because, you know, I think the problem is Berserker. Really, but you know what, it's fine, it's okay. The changes to Obsidian Flesh were also pretty stupid. They seem to be avoiding nerfing Tempest for reasons that I am unable to explain. Although it is telling, guys, I don't know if I'm the only one who's noticed this. Okay, maybe I'm alone here, but it seems curious that only now, after so long and when we're soonish gonna be learning about the new expansion, is when they start deciding to nerf the elite specs brought about by the last expansion. So a little bit of an interesting coincidence. I'm sure it's just purely coincidental and doesn't actually mean anything. Okay, I'm pretty sure that when the next expansion rolls out, the new elite specs will not be completely and utterly overpowered for years until the next expansion after that. I'm sure that's not what's going on here. So yeah, those are just a few thoughts on the patch notes, but in general terms, I would say that based on these changes, I think PvP might actually be better than it was before, which is something that I haven't said in a long time, I believe. Because to be honest, PvP was perfect. It was actually perfect, so it didn't need so many changes. But you know what? I think ArenaNet knows what they're doing. I think these patch notes are great, and I personally can't wait to dive back into Guild Wars 2 and start trying my hardest at Unranked, where the competition is really at. So I'll see you guys there in the battlefield, I suppose. So yeah, happy patch notes day to you and everyone.